Hi there, this is an overview of what an account looks like for a fleet admin within Rightcharge. As you can see, fleet admins have access to these 6 tabs here, whereas drivers will have access to these 3 at the bottom: Sessions, Map and Charging. We'll go through these to show you what it will look like for drivers and for admins alike. The first tab for an admin is this overview page here. This will show a breakdown of all of the total charging data, cost, and sustainability data split into energy source and carbon intensity here. This is cumulative and will show the data from all of the registered drivers in the fleet. You can also see a breakdown for the average vehicle here. You can filter for a specific date range at the top using these filters. The next tab is the Fleet tab. This is where you can see all of the currently onboarded drivers, and this is also where you can invite new drivers too by pressing this button here. Fleet admins have access to upload drivers one at a time, or separated with a comma if it's just a few in this section. Or they can also upload them in bulk using this box here. You'll be able to download this template to fill in the driver's information in bulk and upload in a CSV file. Once done, you'll be able to see all invited and active drivers in this page here. This is also where fleet admins can make any changes to drivers' access. They can modify roles here, so they can give a driver access to be an admin, and this would mean that they have the full permissions shown here to see the whole fleet data. Or they can be set to be a driver, where they can see their own data and charging sessions via these 3 bottom tabs here. You can also modify fraud prevention here and modify access. Here you can select them to have access to home charging or public charging or both. For example, if a driver does not have a home charger and will only be charging their EV on the go, you can set their home access to be no access. You could then select their public access to be either direct payment or expenses. Direct payment for public access means that whenever the driver uses their RFID charge card on the go, this will be charged to the company account that was used to set up the fleet admin profile. Alternatively, they can be set to expenses, which means that the driver would pay this with their own card and they would then be expensed by their company directly. For home access, you can set this to be direct payment. This means that any charges that the driver makes on their business account at home will be reimbursed directly into their energy account. You can also set this to be expenses if you prefer that this is paid by the driver directly and for them to be reimbursed internally. Once again, if a driver has home access only but won't be charging on the go, you can set them to be no access for public and direct payment or expenses for home access. If the driver will have access to both home access and public access, you can also select this. You'll also be able to see the email address that's registered for each driver, as well as the vehicle registration data if this has been provided. We also have an analytics tab. This will show a greater breakdown of all of the charge sessions, total charging time, total energy used, and total spent. You can also see a split by group if you would like to set this up. This is completely optional and is just dependent on how you would like to report within your fleet. And you can see a breakdown between work, home, and public in further detail. You can also see a table at the bottom which will show the top spenders. Going back to the groups, if you would like to create a group, you can do this in the fleet page by clicking on a user, pressing edit group, and you can either create a new group here or move drivers into specific groups in order to report within that way. The last tabs that we have are the Sessions, Map, and My Charging tabs. These are all tabs that will be visible for drivers on their own accounts. For fleet admins, you'll be able to see all of the charging sessions from all of the registered drivers within the fleet. These will show as pending if they haven't come through yet, confirmed if they have come through but they're waiting to be paid out, and paid for any that have already been reimbursed. Once again, you can filter by date range here, and this is also exportable. Here's the Map tab, and this is a map that will show you an overview of all of the available public chargers that Rightcharge is compatible with using our RFID charge cards. We're compatible with about 70% of all of the UK's charging points, but not all of them. So please do remind drivers that if they are going to be charging on the go, it's important for them to check this map to ensure that they'll be able to use their card. And lastly, we have the My Charging tab here. Once again, this will be visible to all of the drivers that have an account too, And this will be where they're able to see and manage all of their details relating to their home charger, home energy tariff, and vehicle if they are using home charging. If they are using public charging, this will also be where they can see their public charge card number. And if they haven't had this ordered yet, this is also where they'll be able to order a card and activate this within their account. This will also show their details and a breakdown of the energy usage. If you are an admin and a driver, you'll be able to see your driving data here too. If you go to the Account Settings tab, this is also where you can make changes to any details such as your email, phone number, name or address, and any changes to company settings here too. Hope this is helpful.